I'm so glad you could join me today. So glad you could join me today again. Today we're gonna be doing a nice little interesting winter painting today. You know, I don't feel as if I haven't done justice to paintings that are related to winter, so I thought we could do one like that today. So let me tell you what I got up here. While they run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. So I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas pre-stretched, and it has 2 layers of white gesso. It has no medium, my medium's to the side, and I thought we could give this painting a go. So let's get started. I thought we could do a nice little, maybe cold winter scene. Something where it's not as bright. So little phthalo blue, little mountain mixture. Mix it on the brush. Maybe even a little bit of white. So ivory black, phthalo blue, and mountain mixture. Dip it into some medium just so it could slide on better onto the canvas. Let's start up here. Just by doing crisscross strokes, you can get that paint on. Oh, today you're gonna need a nice little blanket to warm you up with this painting. So just loading up my brush and just applying the basic color. Just mixing that color onto my brush with my brush. No palette knife. Let me add some more medium. Okay. And for the medium, I'm using linseed oil. Just in case you guys are new and don't know what I use, I'm using linseed oil for the medium. So just scrub and dub that paint on. New goal, guys. We're at December 5th is when I'm shooting this. It's gonna be way later by the time this video's up. But I want to be able to reach 200 followers by the end of 2023. So a month from now, we're at almost 150. So I think we can accomplish it. Hopefully you guys can help me out with that. Okay, just going across. Hopefully you guys can help me out with reaching that milestone. Now, let's add some white. I'm gonna add some clouds into this painting. I think this cold painting needs some clouds. So just like if you're trying to push your bristles up while doing circles. And try to keep it to the corner of your brush. Something like, I'm just going crazy really. The blending stage is where everything comes together. So this crazy little thing, corner of your brush, I'm just going in circles. Lift up, go across, and you have yourself a nice little cloud there. Now, they sell these brushes. They're nice little blender brushes. They're nice, soft. They're made for these types of stuff. So if you have trouble with blending, if you're putting too much pressure and all that, I highly suggest you go out and buy yourself um, a blender brush. They're more delicate than your regular brush. Something crazy that's going on there. As you can see, not really much. And I just go with the corner of the 2-inch. Lift up. Go across. And it comes together. Comes right together. Now, I think today we're gonna have some distant trees that live out here somewhere. So some distant little trees. It's not a forest. They're just tons and tons of trees that just live out in the distance. That's why you only see that little peak. But don't confuse it for a forest. I'm gonna put distant trees throughout the whole thing. Might as well. You're just okay. Let me switch angles, hopefully like that. You tap your brush and you kind of pull down. That's the slow version. You just tap and pull down. But it's easier when you go quick. That way, everything kind of comes together that way. And your brush is not like that. Tilt your brush so it's facing this way towards the canvas. Say the palette's the canvas. You want your brush to be like this. Just like that. It's hard to explain, really. Well, it's not hard to explain, but it's hard to make sure you understand as a viewer. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Let's just pull some of that paint down. And to make the top part sharper, just pull upwards. It'll make your trees look a bit more nice, more crisp, more sharp. Okay, and just like that, you have a distant little foothills out in the far. Now, let me go into some titanium white with my 2-inch brush that I use for the sky. Same dirty brush, not cleaning it. Let's come up here. And as I said, today's a snowy one. I'm going to tap that paint. Just tap. Tap, tap, tap. Maybe it has a little bit of blue, just to be able to distinguish it. I'm gonna blend all that together. But you see how it's not a bright blue? It's like a subdued blue. So again, with some blue, maybe around here, just something like so. You were just leaving those little tap marks. It's nice and subdued. A little bit of ivory black if your blue is too bright, if it gets too bright on you. Okay, so we have that sort of going on, but we need some water. I'm going to some phthalo blue and some white. I want this more bright compared to the other colors. So I want one solid color, so I don't care if there's lines or not. I just want one straight solid color. I just added a bit more medium so the paint could flow on easier. Look at that. Are you guys ready to paint? It's that simple. See, with winter paintings, I try to know where I want water because the white will blend in for me. It blends in a lot. And I don't like when it blends in too much because then it doesn't look like snow. It looks like part of water. So usually I try to know where the water's gonna be and where the snow's gonna be. Snow. So look, on top of that layer, I went into some white, and we're just gonna get it going there. So you can go circular, just like you do with your clouds. Just pull it, gentle, gentle. I think another snowbank will live somewhere around there. It's really cold at the top and pretty bright at the bottom. Shoot, but it's still cold. I might need to bring out a winter jacket. Nah, I'm kidding. Some dark sienna and ivory black. Cut a roll. And I try not to overdo it much. If it was summertime, you can cover it up pretty easily. But for me, winter pictures, I struggle a bit more with. Because it's white, and white tends to blend in with everything. So I try not to overdo it, so I don't have issues later. Just like so. Cut a roll. Maybe a few here and there. Everything comes together when all is said and done. Shoot, what the heck? We'll put a nice little rock that just lives out there. We'll go into some dark sienna and white. Just a little bit. Okay, and since it's winter painting, gotta go over it with some white. I just put some of that brown so some of it could show And it looks like it shows up that rocky look. Okay, you have a rock there. Now, here's another cool trick. With your palette knife, you could go into some white and just sort of slide on some paint. No big deal. If your paint tends to blend on you, this is the way to go. Just pull some of that paint and very, very lightly you can blend it out and just leave that top layer. So just like that, it brings it out even more. That's a nice little hack that I think I'm gonna use throughout today's painting. Okay, let me go into a little bit of blue, gray it down, something around that line. And let's go into some white. You could connect some pieces, you can separate them. It's all in your hands. You have the power. Let me be able to distinguish there a bit. Maybe, oh, that got to the blue. Some white. That's just highlights, shadows. It's like everything. Very lightly. I don't want much texture on this. I just want to be able to distinguish the snow. But you can leave the texture if you wanted. Look at that. And you just put some dirt on. Okay. Go into some white. Or, oops. White and blue. Just to change it up. And just cover just like so. Very gentle. And you can bring some of that up, or you can leave it the way it is. I like to bring it up a bit. Okay. And just like that, you have a finished paint. No, I'm kidding. I still got some things to work on. So I want to put some snow here. Just like if there's a little snowbank. Just lightly. Okay. Get some of that blue mixture just to kind of change it a bit. And add some to the dirt. The dirt would be covered with some snow as well. Okay. Very gently. Okay. Let's add in some trees, some stuff like that. I'm gonna grab my number 3 fan brush and put in some evergreen trees. It's right around there. Maybe one lives right one here, and another one. Maybe it's the 3 musketeers. Load up your brush and just plop them in. I'm trying to remember the movement. Even I forget at times. Just by tapping the bristles. People give other people hard times for forgetting some hand brush movements, but even people like me who've been painting for quite a while, I tend to forget as well. And I shouldn't be as proud as I sound, but it's true. I forget too. So some evergreen trees. Maybe these somehow survive winter. I don't know how they did it. I probably couldn't survive. It's too cold for me. I'm more of a hot person. I like the heat, not the cold. And just that last one. Heck, if you even wanted to, you could put Santa Claus going through. Maybe this is 5 miles away from Santa Claus's workshop. Maybe. I never said it is. A little bit of medium and a little bit of white. White and some medium. The medium is just to thin out the paint, and a thin paint will stick on to a thicker paint. It's harder to do it reversed. So usually you want to thin out your paint. Instead of thinning out your paint first, then applying thick paint. Instead, apply thick paint, then do your thin paint. Look at that. Look at all that snow that lived in that tree. This tree really got covered up with the snow. Shoot. I'm telling you, this is a very, very cold, snowy painting. I had a feeling this one was going to be not that warm. A little bit more medium. Just a little bit. Just like so. Just barely tap it. You don't want to cover all your darks. Just like that, you have your 3 musketeers, your 3 trees that live out in there. Now, let's go ahead. Let's do this. I'm gonna grab some dark sienna load up my brush real good. Just pure dark sienna. And you can see that how there's a bit of brown. I'm going to some ivory black. And it's darker. Let's come up here. That's called double loading. And let's plop in a tree. Okay, just like so. Maybe that tree has a friend. Okay, now let's go ahead. Let's add some snow. Just like so. And you could call this painting finished, but I think we have to have some trees on the other side. We have some on one side. Let's put some on the other. Maybe this one's crooked. And that'll be the end for today's painting. Load up my brush. Just pushing the bristles upward so it gives you that illusion. I like to call these winter trees. The other types where the leaves are kind of down, I call those summer trees, even though they're evergreen. I call those summer trees, and these I call winter trees. Just like so. Just push the bristles and the paint should come out of your brush. Okay, some white and just lightly. Lightly. Just cover it with some snow. Okay, and maybe over here. Can't leave this tree left out. Okay, I know I said that was the last thing, but this will be quick. That's to really be okay with this. I'm gonna add some water lines. You can add as much or as few water lines as you wish. Maybe you don't even want water lines. Look, I didn't even cover this dirt with snow. Okay. Something like so. Well, I think we could call this painting finished. This is a nice, simple, yet interesting winter painting anyone can do. And I hope you try this painting out. Send it to me. I would really like to see someone try it. Until then, I'd like to wish you, each and every one of you, the best of luck. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, my friend.